Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcast ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the e-commerce minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the E-commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-commerce Minute, episode 297.
In today's episode, Walmart expands convenience store test.
Walmart is expanding their small convenience store test. Last month, they opened a Walmart fuel station, a convenience store in Plano, Texas. Previously, the company had tested convenience stores in Huntsville, Alabama, and Thornton, Colorado that features pickup of online grocery orders. The Plano, Texas location has 8 fuel pumps and a store with grab-and-go deli items, pizza by the slice, roller dogs, other hot foods, a wall of cold beverages, and a walk-in beer cooler. The station is similar to Walmart convenience stores recently opened in Crowley, Texas, and Rogers, Arkansas. Walmart plans to open 3 similar stores in the parking lots of supercenters in Dallas-Fort Worth area by the end of the year. This appears to be an extension of Walmart's move in the past few years to build and brand its own gas stations. It's also to be noted that Walmart has backed away from the concept of building smaller grocery-only stores, owing to the success of dollar store chains like Dollar General. The convenience store concept seems to hit that sweet spot in the middle. Building convenience stores on their own lots is also a low-risk move for Walmart. They can operate independently and help the retailer get the highest return on their real estate. While making a trip to a superstore and a convenience store are 2 different types of trips, the C-store can also capture customers that may have second thoughts about entering a crowded big box. Walmart convenience stores might be the right idea, as convenience stores are a big business. According to Statista, U.S. convenience stores are a $616 billion business annually. Hot dispensed beverages alone generate a whopping $7.6 billion in sales per year. That, my friend, is a lot of coffee.
So when are we going to see Wall 11, Mart 7, Wawa Walmart, Walmart, Wawa? Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I was trying to see when they're going to buy everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if they do that. See, I think what they're doing here, their philosophy is we have these giant parking lots, foot traffic is down. What the F do we do with this giant parking lot? I know, let's build a little store on top of it. Doesn't cost them that much.
Yeah, I mean, they're leasing the space anyway. Might as well build something.
Space anyway. So I think it's kind of a real estate move. They can experiment. They have been getting more into they have a deal with a gas company since 2016. From what I read, they're trying to get away from that deal and do their own gas thing. So I would expect to see more quote unquote Walmart gas stations. I don't know if they would still brand them as Walmart or just keep them as such.
Well, there were Sam's Clubs, right?
Well, but Sam's Club is a whole different thing. But some Sam's sell gas. A lot of Sam's do the car repair and the tires and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different. It's really considered like a whole different company. But I think the gas, obviously, all the gas goes through the same parent company. But I think what Walmart is trying to do is getting into the convenience store market. That definitely will bring bigger returns, considering, again, we always talk about foot traffic declining. That's going to capture a different kind of consumer. It's going to capture an ambient consumer that's just like, oh God, I don't want to go in that Walmart. Oh, you know what? I'll just run in here and grab some stuff.
I mean, if you kind of follow, we come from the world of Wawa. Wawa replaced a lot of their stores with the big ginormous ones with gas in them. Yep. And now they're replacing sort of the healthy stuff. They're always changing and updating, but they're definitely grew a lot. There's tons of them in Florida now.
You have to think about how the convenience store business has changed. We always thought the 7-Eleven, and the 7-Eleven was like, you go in, you get a big gulp, you get a slushie, you get a pretzel, you get a frozen burrito, a newspaper, and some not really great coffee, end of story. It's really evolved in that now you have these chains like Wawa, Sheetz, Royal Farms. Have you ever been in a Royal Farms?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Royal Farms, they're a convenience store that sells like the best fried chicken I've ever eaten. And what it is they've kind of listened to what the consumer is looking for. The consumer doesn't want a frozen burrito anymore. Like we have Wawa here, which you can get fresh sandwiches and soups and all that kind of stuff. Sheetz is kind of the same thing. And there's a rivalry between if you like Sheetz or you like Wawa. It kind of depends on where you're from on the East Coast. But I think Walmart getting into this with their economies of scale and how the real estate is placed, I would keep a close eye on this, and I don't think it's going to be a frozen burrito place. I think Walmart, how they've gotten so far into fine tune their grocery business, you're taking the same inventory and maybe just repurposing it a little bit and putting it in the convenience store. I wouldn't scoff at this at all.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. And if they put a drive-through for coffee, maybe they'll on that one too.
Now you're talking, yeah, because we can get a whole conversation about coffee. You even go to like 7-Eleven or any place now, it's not just like, it's just like caffeinated and decaffeinated. Now it's, if you go into a coffee place, you've got to have like 15 brands of coffee or you're not offering a selection.
Yeah. I mean, if you walk into Wawa, there's like 30 different things of coffee there. And you're like, I don't know what to pick now.
Plus you can order like custom lattes and all kinds of cappuccinos and stuff like that. The greatest thing was when I was traveling up the East Coast, driving to and from Florida, you'd go in these truck stops. And I was actually kind of jealous because I was like, these truck stops are amazing.
Like Pilot and those guys? Yeah.
Pilot has the best coffee. Like I stopped in every Pilot and got coffee, and the coffee was great and the people were friendly. And it's a hyper competitive environment. And I think Walmart is maybe going in the right direction here. So let's talk about another thing. We talked about another type of convenience store, Amazon Go. Mm-hmm. Amazon Go, for those who are trying to keep up, is the frictionless convenience store, which basically you do everything from an app and you don't have to interact with anyone, and it feels like you're stealing. You grab your item. How do you do? You have to go launch the app, then go in the store, or
launch the app. You scan that you walked in, and then it just
scan. You walked in, but you otherwise don't do anything else.
Nope. You put stuff in the basket.
It basically knows what you've taken, and you walk away from that.
Yep.
So everyone's going to say, "Oh, Amazon's going to come in and they're going to dominate." But I think that is more of an urban thing. You've still got a whole big giant country here, and I don't think the middle of the country understands what an Amazon Go concept is yet. And I don't think you're going to see it for quite a while. So
not yet. I mean, there's a competitor company out there that's building these things too. We will talk about another show, but
yeah, there is.
It's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's going to take a while. Microsoft, they're developing some technology, and yes, there are some startups that saw the Amazon Go thing and said, that is the future. We're going to build this. So that's not going away, but I think Walmart is going to have a bigger head start than Amazon has. And so the one thing that Amazon doesn't have yet, they don't sell gas. So
not yet.
All right. Got anything else, Bart?
That's it.
All right. Full show notes are our website, ecommerceminute.co. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe, or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion, or just want to say hi, find us on social media @Sumo Heavy.